So you said, tell me in 5 minutes or less what the preacher said. Well, today the preacher preached on the Holy Spirit and your future, the Holy Spirit and my future. He took his text from Romans chapter 15, verse 13. He said that the most important thing that every believer ought to know is that your future is in the hand of God. He said your future is in the hand of God. He said before we gave our lives to Christ and we were living in sin, Satan and sin had dominion over us. But immediately we give our lives to Christ, we are justified, and the reason God justifies us is because He wants to glorify us. And so we are no longer under the dominion of Satan, we are now under the dominion of God. He said that sin is no longer our master, and because sin is no longer our master, our destiny, our future, our destiny is now in the hands of God. Psalm 31 verse 15, it says, my times are in your hands, deliver me from the hands of my enemies and those who relentlessly pursue me. He said God has a plan for those who relentlessly pursue us. He said what happens to them is usually what happens to Pharaoh. That God has a plan for those who relentlessly pursue our destiny. He said that God has made plans, made every plan for everything we need. 1 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 9, he says, but as it is written, eye has not seen, ear has not heard, neither has it entered into the heart of man what God has prepared for those who love Him. So God has made adequate preparation for your destiny, for my destiny. God has made adequate preparation for your destiny and for my destiny. He also said that as New Testament believers, we are not supposed to pursue resources. Yes, God has made those resources available. God has made every kind of resource available, but as New Testament believers, we are not supposed to pursue resources, we are supposed to attract resources. We pursue God and we attract resources. He gave the example of Saul, how Saul was looking for his father's donkey up and down and he didn't find it until he encountered God through the ministry of the prophet Samuel. The prophet Samuel anointed him and told him that the donkey has been found, and especially that he would meet 3 people who are carrying resources, and they will greet him and they will give him those resources. That is, he found God and the resources he was looking for came looking for him. So as New Testament believers, we don't pursue resources, we pursue God and we attract resources. He said our future is not in the hands of man. Our future is not in the hands of any institution. Our future is not in the hands of our boss. Our future is not in the hands of any man. That no one knows what God has in mind to do for you and for me. He said that elections are drawing near now, and many immigrants are already doing some postulations and permutation that which administration would be more immigrant friendly, which administration would have policies that would be more immigrant friendly. But he said that no matter who is in the White House, you as a Christian must have an assurance that your path is like a shining light, shining more and more, no matter who is in the White House. You must have an assurance that your tomorrow will be better than your today, no matter who wins the elections. Then he said that what are the specific roles of the Holy Spirit in this future? What are the specific roles of the Holy Spirit in relation to our future? He said, number 1, the Holy Spirit reveals our future to us. He said the Holy Spirit reveals our future to us. He opens our eyes to see the glorious future that God has prepared for us. 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 9 and 10. But as it is written, eye has not seen, ear has not heard, neither has it entered into the heart of man what God has prepared for those who love Him. He says, but God has revealed them to us through His Spirit, for the Spirit searches all things, yes, the deep things of God. Verse 11 goes on to say that, for what man knows the things of a man, except the spirit of the man which is in him? Even so, no one knows the things of God, except the Spirit of God. That is, it is only in conjunction with the Spirit of God that you can discover the destiny, the glorious destiny He has prepared for you. See, that destiny that God prepared and concluded in His mind for you, He did not call any council meeting when He prepared it. So it's a thing of God. It's a sacred thing. It's a mystery that God hid for your glory. So for you to get into it, for you to stumble into it, it has to be revealed to you. You cannot get into that thing of God by exercising your human spirit or by exercising your intellect and your soul. Yes, you might stumble in some other things, doing all of those things, but stumbling into this destiny that God has prepared for you and I, we must partner with the Holy Spirit to reveal it to us, because it is a thing of God, hidden for your glory and for my glory. Second thing, he said that the Holy Spirit infuses hope. It infuses hope in our future. He said at one point or the other in your journey of destiny, you are going to face hopelessness. You are going to get into a place where you are not sure it is working. He said at those points in time, it is the Holy Spirit that infuses hope into you and I. Especially in those transition period. You are transitioning from a country to another country. You are transitioning from Nigeria to the United States. You are transitioning from career. You are transitioning from one career to another. You are transitioning from being single to being married. You are transitioning from being sick to being whole in your body. Those in-between moments, the devil likes to torment us. We are most vulnerable to the spirit of hopelessness. But the Holy Spirit infuses hope in our future. That Romans chapter 15 verse 13, it says, "Now may the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing, that you may abound in hope by the power of the Holy Spirit." That you may abound in hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. Without the power of the Holy Spirit, you cannot abound in hope. I cannot abound in hope. So that's the connection between the Holy Spirit and the glorious future that He has prepared for us. He said this hope is an anchor that keeps you stable and steady when the storms of life, when circumstances of life conspire against you. This hope that your tomorrow will be all right, that this cannot be the end of your story, that God did not bring you here to leave you. That hope is what keeps you steady in the face of life's challenges. I hope this has been a blessing to you. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you on the next one.